Well, hello everybody. Tractor's warming up in the background. I was gonna move that pile of old nasty hay so I could get to a log that I cut down for milling. But I got it stuck. Didn't feel like shoveling, so I let it sit. Should drive right out today. I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm contemplating, that thing is a demolition job. I'm looking to salvage as many materials as I can out of it for future projects, primarily the wood. The aluminum and the steel may or may not go to the recycler. I have not decided yet. I could use the frame rails for building a hydraulic press, bandsaw mill, all kinds of stuff. So I don't know yet. But I got to get to that part. I got all the walls knocked down through the kitchen. Got 2 interior walls left, and then I get started pulling down the ceiling and ripping off the siding and getting down to the floor. And it's been a long project since I only get to work on it a couple hours at a time before I gotta rest. I may have to improvise a tripod because I don't have one, but I think I can improvise one, and maybe I'll bring you guys along for that. We'll see. Tractor's not going to come out without a little bit of help. Sometimes they'll get traction and move if you let them sit. Not always, but sometimes. Unfortunately, this time is not one of them. So we're gonna go get the shovel. Here, you wanna see the dog? What are you doing, Ruger? What are you doing, buddy? Sit. 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 Good boy. He's just a puppy. He's only 4 months old. Alright, so I went back up to the house. Always got a number of things going on. And most of the time, stuff never gets done. Dog wants to go in. Most of the time it takes forever to get anything done because I can only work for a couple hours and then I gotta stay in bed for a long ass time and rest up, and then once I'm rested up, then I go and do more stuff. I'll grab the light shovel just in case. Maybe I'll start my improvising on the makeshift tripod for the day. I have a feeling these will work. I got something else in the tractor that'll work with it, and I got something else in my pocket that'll work with that. That's the house. But we gotta move to town because since I got sick, I wasn't able to make the payments. So this spring we'll be living in town. But there's a number of trees that need to come down for the next folks who come in. This big honey locust right in front of us here, and then tucked right back in there, there's 2 big mulberries, and branches have been falling off of those for a couple of years now, and then back in there there's some elm and mulberry and some locust and some hickory. Now you're gonna laugh at me. I walked this whole way, forgot my shovel. Forgot my darn shovel. This here is a tapered fence post that I made, black locust, and I just kind of freehand cut it with the chainsaw, so it's nice and rough. It actually sat back where I cut it for a year, and then I brought it up here because I needed to mill something else in that spot once I got my sawmill, my Alaska sawmill, my chainsaw mill. But I like the way this turned out. It started out as a 7-inch, 8-inch tree, I think, and the post itself is tapered, as a fence post should be. But it likely won't get used as a fence post, but I think we're gonna end up using it for a hitching post in town. So when we bring the pony to town for the kids to ride around the park or something, and then we'll have a hitching post. Or we'll find some other rustic use for it, but it'll last a number of years, being black locust out in the elements. It's pretty resilient stuff. I guess this will be a V-log. Shovel. Alright, so here's the stuck tractor. Hopefully I'm talking loud enough. And should be pretty simple. Just gotta dig, get that stuff out. However, might as well improvise a tripod real quick. Booyah! 5 seconds later, we got ourselves a tripod. That'll probably work, huh? Someday I might actually invest in a winch or something. Tire chains. It's got duals, but the bucket ain't as wide as the duals, so I'd have to put extensions on it for moving snow, but that's another project for another day. Throwing a chain under the tire usually doesn't work, but I'm going to try it anyway. And if I get desperate enough, you just might get to see me do stuff nobody should ever do. It'll be fun. Only the resilient filling materials contained in this article meet the California Bureau of Home Furnishings flammability requirements. Care should be exercised near open flame or with burning cigarettes. Sounds like something out of the 80s. take my newfound selfie stick for a walk. Maybe it'll stabilize the video. Maybe. Oh. May need to engineer a solution. Probably won't be a safe one. I'll have to wait and see, I guess. There's my $500 baler. Make some good bales. I only have about, let's see here, maybe 30 feet of chain tops, but I do have some load straps. That I could potentially fashion a winch out of. Does that sound exciting? It's less dangerous than what I would normally do, but I guess we can go the safe route first, and then we can try the other route. But before we do that, I gotta start this beast and close up the tailgate, so on and so forth. So let me put you in the snowbank here quick. Whoops. That was a whole lot easier than I thought. Yes, it's a power stroke, and no, the glow plugs are not functional. There's no relay in there, and all the glow plug wires are cut because they melted. I haven't replaced the harness. I was going to do that when I did O-rings, which it needs. Normally it's plugged in if I know I'm going to go somewhere in the next 30 days, but I didn't think I was going anywhere in the next 30 days with it, so I didn't plug it in. Normally it'll start without ether when it's plugged in, but it's got to be warm for a full 24 hours. It's got 310,000 miles. It's kind of beat up. Tell you a little story, I guess. I apologize for the tripod in the frame because this was improvised. Anyhow, this guy right here, pay attention to Facebook Marketplace because this is my future air compressor. It's a Quincy. Oh yeah, listen to that. Burp away. I gotta run a pipe from here down to here. In there I gotta put in a check valve, because this over here is the unloader. This sends a signal up to the unloader valve up here, and if I put a gas engine on this, this would be enough. However, I still need a check valve on my tank so that the pressure doesn't unload when the unloader does. Unless they already thought of that, and originally this unloader valve also functioned as a check valve. I don't know, but I'm going to put one in anyway because they're nice to have. In case a leak develops somewhere up here and the check valve is down here and consequently out to the tank, then it, whatever. But I also need to install a electric switch, pressure switch, so I can run the 3 horsepower motor that came with it. I'm not going to tell you what I paid for this and that motor, but It's $2,000 worth of equipment, and I can't complain about what I got. Now, that compressor is replacing that compressor, which I connect to that tank over there so that I can run an air tool for 5 seconds. This will be a fun time getting that thing going. I'll either be able to run the electric motor on it, or I might put a 5 horsepower motor on it that's buried over there in the snowbank. That's where it's been for the last few years, and it runs every spring when I need it. Now back to the matter at hand. I've got a number of large toe straps, or tie-down straps. So I'm gonna get the ones that the longer ones. That's the short one. If I break that one, I won't be quite so upset. But we'll go down here into the mess of the basement. And we're gonna grab our straps. Not this. We are improving. So there, these are 40 footers, and I've got 2 that are 40 and 1 that's 30, and the other one I think is 10. So 40, 40 is 80, 30 is 110, 120 feet plus my 20 feet of chain. Might be able to rig something up. Okay. So there's our straps. I'm gonna also get we're gonna drive this over there. That's my 4-wheel drive. I was driving down the highway one day between the seat. Oh, look at that. Man, we're just improvising like crazy today. Anyhow, and that blue F100 1972 was born with a 360, and somebody claimed they rebuilt it to a 390, but I've never measured to check. I was cruising down the highway 80 miles an hour, and the rear wheel bearing went out, and I got passed by the axle. That was pretty badass. Anyhow, I still haven't fixed that. The bearing's only 30 bucks. I'm not antisocial, but anytime I gotta go to town, and multiple times, I tend to avoid it. So I had an old 60s pickup box trailer that had a 3/4 1-ton Timken. You know, the maker of the bearings. Well, at one point in time they made whole axles. Anyhow, this is a Timken axle. It's a 456 gear, and my 4-wheel drive is a 350. Anyhow, this is what they used to put on the F1s, F2s, or F2s and F3s, and F250s, F350s. There was a spacer you could buy to go on the end of the axle. It's a Mountain Duals, or you could just make one. Anyhow, I slapped this on there, and I thought, well, heck, I'll just put really big tires on the back and really small tires up front, and then my 4-wheel drive would work. I haven't got that far yet, but it would require like a 38-inch in the back with a 28-inch in the front, and then the gear ratios would work together. However, I'm just gonna fix the forward 9-inch when I go get the drive shaft, and since I figured out I don't need a hydraulic press to do it. Anyhow, we came over here to get the high lift jack because some of those off-roading videos that I watched every once in a while, they used used one of these as a winch. This particular one sucks as a jack because the pins don't move like they should. It needs a kit, but it was free. And I haven't completely destroyed it yet, but there's still hope.